Welcome to Coochie's first ever fashion show, hosted by the Trillionaire founder himself, Martimer Goth. Hello there and welcome back to Coochie, our fashion subsidiary that managed to make us 1 billion in the last episode. 1.7 billion to be precise. But we still have to beat this guy, and also this guy and his family, who are worth 227 billion. So this wealth is nothing. So let's continue crashing the market by buying all the cloth the Rimworld has to offer, transforming it into clothes, and selling it back for a huge profit. Hooray for the free market. But anyway, let's go back to our factory. And immediately a master chef named Stin wants to join us. I mean, we're a fashion company, but you can become useful. I unfortunately placed him inside the wrong type of scanner, a soft scanner. Now he has scanning sickness and the toxins are building up inside his body. So unfortunately, we can't do anything with him and he will pass away. At the same time, we are also besieged. There's quite a few of them, but our base is fully shielded. Really, I've been raided ever since I came to this Rimworld, and this always happens. And another pile of unusable corpses. Hello darkness, my old friend. Acidic smog once again starts to set in, which has almost no impact to us, but still a pretty common occurrence in a polluted tile. I wonder if it can be completely removed, if we completely clean up the place. Our cotton production facilities do need a little expansion, so let's make ourselves a 21 by 21 room and fill it with hydroponics. But midway through this process, we get interrupted by a manhunter pack of penguins. Now there is kind of a hole in my wall, and I don't know if manhunting means mech hunting too, but let's take no chances. Alright, the hole is patched, but the shield generators are lagging my game. And so Martimer will have to deal with all of those penguins. Just need to turn invisible and kill. Oh, it looks like these shield generators also work against me, so I guess I have to get close to them and target the ones outside the shield. And done. Now where were we? Oh yeah, hydroponics. Let's put a few down to around half of the room. And now we watch them build very inefficiently. This is the thing I hate most about Rimworld, is that they are very inefficient at building things. Like, let me just haul this one component into this one building, while there are 20 other buildings that require components nearby. Really annoying. But for a game this good, I'll ignore it. We do eventually finish. And now we just have to set it to cotton, one of the plants that popularized slavery. Not that RimX participates in such heinous activities. Isn't that right, Martimer? Now which country was it that became really rich because of cotton slaves? Was it America, or this country formerly ruled by the God Queen herself? Well, one of those two. Hello there, Northwestern Industries. Would you like to buy all these clothes worth 300,000 to 600,000? This is one of the best deals anywhere, I assure you. Pleasure doing business with you. Oh wait, we got two. Just rinse and repeat. Looks like we have to add mint green to our summer collection. Not the nicest color, but at least it's not turd brown. And we're going to need way more storage space than this. Let's expand a little bit. 25% more space. Although it seems to be missing a bit of power, and the graphs have updated, and we are at 2.1 billion. So that leaves us with 998 billion to go. Shouldn't be too hard, especially now that we've got so many hydroponics. I better start preparing my runway too. We need to showcase our products on the internet, and this room ain't it. Could use a bit more holograms. Well, this design looks very Catholic. Some more over here. Perfect. Could have something a bit more intimidating. Oh, perfect. Another Catholic design. Let's do the other one too. Oh. Wait, that's perfect. Let's do the last one. We don't want any of that tree bullshit. These all look very holy. Oh wait, that last one was good. This looks like a nice runway. Now we just need a few models. Models who can survive this toxic factory. Models with a very unique facial structure and a very pleasant personality. I'm sure we'll find a few willing volunteers eventually. Or maybe we can start making our own using the power of genetic engineering. We don't have the genetic material, unfortunately, so we have to wait for a trade ship that will hopefully have the Tox immunity gene in their inventory. Surely the game will give us that, right? Raiders from the Green Crag settlement decide to assault my base. I wonder how they plan to destroy my impregnable fortress with such Neolithic technology, like mortars and revolvers. 3 of them do manage to survive somehow, and now they are going to be soft scanned, because we are quite low on standard subcores, which are required for Omnitrons. I do get a genetic supplier, and I was honestly expecting some genes, but they're absolutely zero. If a genetic supplier doesn't supply xenogenes, then what trade ship does? It must be an exotic goods trader, right? Okay, we wait for an exotic goods trader. Since we don't really have anything to do, we may as well finish off our hydroponics area. Fill it to the brim. Our wealth is now at 4.2 billion, which is the GDP of a small African country like Liberia. If you know, 1 silver is worth $1. I don't know how the currency system in Rimworld works. All I know is big number equals good. And once again, we are bothered by another useless event, and it looks like it's an infested ship. Ugh, bugs. We're gonna burn them with laser fire. And remember people, just do your part in ending the Xeno bug threat by buying all of our ethically produced clothes. And don't be like these guys. They take all my food and now they want to take over? You are destined to become Omnitrons, the machine goat. And now you deny yourself the right of ascension? So selfish. But don't worry, Martimer will beat you back into the path. And speaking of paths, we are still on the right path, because we are now worth 8 billion and our factory is still growing. Like, look at this new hydroponics area we've set up, which should increase our production by around 1/3, and an expanded mechanitor area so that we can make more fabric ores and lifters. Lifters are probably more important now, especially since we're still getting slave ships, because Martimer is alone. Unfortunately, none of these guys are wasters. They also sell gene packs. Unfortunately, none of them are what we need, so we just opt for the 2 slaves. And immediately both of them have toxic buildup, so I have to rush them to the rip scanner. I probably have 5 seconds to live, which is more time than this young drifter will have. She's asking us for medicine to save her loyal pet. Say no more. You're probably going to die, but we always have a soft spot for animals. We all knew what was going to happen. At least we get ourselves an exotic goods trader. And this one has the Tox immune gene. That's exactly what we need. And we get double whammied with a slave ship too. This trade ship algorithm really knows what I want. It's inside my mind almost. Or it's been through my search history. Not that there's anything illegal in my search history. So the Tox immunity gene pack also comes with rotten skin. I'm sure we can use that to our advantage by pandering to inclusivity, because RimX wasters are born 100% wasters, not baseline humans implanted with a xenogerm, who are unfortunately already dying because of toxic buildup. Oh well, rest in peace. I'm sure we'll get another slave ship in time. And this time we won't have to make the gene pack, we just have to implant it. Nothing else left to do but to expand the factory and inflate prices at regular efficiency, and also fend off strange alien creatures. What the hell are these things? They look creepy as hell. But you know what? We haven't really tested our defense system, so let's see how it works. That looked very good to me. The most inefficient kill box made efficient with technology. Okay, let's finish these guys. I don't want fungal walkers in my base, especially when they look like this. And you know what's been missing in my base? A bed for willing and salaried employees. The only kind of people we employ. Now all that's left is to piss on them and... perfect. The same color as my gold tiles. Wealth check time, we are now at 36 billion, which is equivalent to the GDP of El Salvador, the smallest country in Central America. And that's pretty much all I know. We're now worth a small country, about the size of a US state. so this rest is probably well deserved. One short death rest later and we're ready to roll. We get ourselves 2 more employees, and I forgot that implanting xenogerms takes time. 2 days to be exact. And these guys only have a lifespan of 5 seconds. And they fall before we can even implant the xenogerm. And it looks like we have to get our waster models somewhere else. Oh, and some outsiders decided to perish inside my base. Pollution is great. We do eventually get a raid from the cancer trash. And since I don't want to hurt them, Martimer is going to punch them so they don't die. But even after punching them to near death, they still want to go after me. Talk about a lack of self-preservation. But at least we got ourselves 2 prisoners, who will eventually be convinced by Martimer's charisma to model for his fashion company. And I didn't notice that one of them was actually not a waster, so in the end we only got Manny. Such a shame. We can't have just one model. And we do have a lot of waster corpses, which we can utilize later. But for now we have a slave ship with a waster. Thank you RNG. And back to the corpses. Martimer is figuring out a way to utilize them, which culminates in the creation of a cloning mech serum. And this cloning mech serum, this will turn them into an embryo. A clone embryo to be precise, containing all of their germline genes, including the waster ones. And there's our embryo, ready to be gestated into a living human being, eventually, in a reasonable amount of time. And wealth check time, we are now 100 billion, which is the GDP of Guatemala, located right next to El Salvador. We are really moving up. And to further facilitate growth, we'll be building another hydroponics area, which should increase our production by 25%, approximately. Now that we're reaching absurd numbers, the trade screen is actually starting to bug. If I sell or buy too much of an item, it gets stuck to this value. So there was a lot of clicking involved for this one, so we don't go over a limit and reach the negative value, because otherwise I won't be able to get rich. Many days later, we now have 3 vat-grown clones, which is not a lot of models, but 5 should be enough. We're now at 472 billion, putting us somewhere in between Singapore and Bangladesh. And it's pretty clear I don't have enough lifters. Look at all this cloth, just stocked there. Oh well. And at this point, we're just waiting for stuff to happen. And then we reached 1 trillion. All we needed were 2 bulk good traders. And we went from 400 billion to 1 trillion. A single unit of cloth is now 3.5 million. That is insane. Our 3 would-be models are still children and babies, so we will probably have to wait just a little bit. I don't want to deal with child labor laws, especially since these are not my clones. But eventually they will participate in a fashion show. Now being worth 1.1 trillion makes us richer than the Netherlands, Saudi Arabia, and Switzerland, which is a far cry from the United States and China's GDPs. But Martimer is now a trillionaire, and that's something. And all we had to do was crash the market. And if you guys like this video, please don't forget to press that like button. And press the subscribe button too if you want. Comment down any ideas you have as well. I'm always open to them, if I can make them. That is all for this video, and thank you for watching.